Hello. So, I didn't make a video for quite some time, and sorry, I had to take a sip of my coffee. I really wanted to drink some coffee for a very long time. So we're gonna make some at least one side of the planar, this magnetic planar, rubber magnet planar. So we got the rubber magnet. It's cut to length. It's well, 3.5 millimeters, I think. I cut it. I get it in 9 millimeters width, but unfortunately I lose quite a bit. But you need this small magnet for tweeter mid-range duty. The other one is too wide. But I'm gonna make one side of a, well, it's not a stator as in an electrostatic speaker, although it looks quite similar because they have like two steel plates or whatever, conductive perforated sheets or wires or whatever. In this case it's metal because the magnet of course attracts to it, and if you have like loads of rows on it, it will enhance the field strength. So, but first of all, if you buy this metal perforated sheet metal, double metal, there's one side you should use. There's one sharp side, and there's one like rounded off side. So the punch like this, so it bends a little bit. So this is sharp, and we're gonna glue on this side because it's well, it's rougher than this side. So, but first we're gonna clean it because usually it comes in sort of a oily state, or at least not very clean. You might be able to paper. Yeah, this is kind of dirty. Paper is not the best thing to use. You could better use something that doesn't, like, yeah, paper sucks to use. I did know this, but apparently I didn't care. But I'm gonna get some old laundry crap. Well, everyone has t-shirts that are either too small or too big, or depending on how much crappy food you eat, or they're just plain worn out, or have holes, or are dirty, or can't get clean, or whatever. But this works way better. You can clean it, and there's no crap coming off. Tiny bit, by the way. Okay, that one is clean, so that's good. Smells like acetone, pretty nice. Clean our workbench. Put it over here. Okay. Then, what shall we do first? Yeah, well, I made this jig or tool or whatever. It has these slots, and if you, maybe you can see it. Yeah, there are like these tiny points here along this line. Maybe you can see it like yeah, it's hard to see, but I made like these slots are like a little bit wider than the magnet, but then there are these tiny points on either side of these slots to keep the magnet in place. And this is really nice if you got a CNC machine, because otherwise I have no clue how I make something like this. But it started out as one piece of HPL and it became this. And it's nice because it helps you load the magnet with a certain distance. In this case we use a spacing width of 2 millimeters. It's just for testing, because I think 1.5 would be sufficient. But then there's this thing on the magnets. It's also kind of hard to see. This is the magnet, and it's just uniform. But on the other side there is this line. Not sure what's going on with the light, but it's not much. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. So one side is north and the other side is south. And I'm not sure which one is what, but we'll see. Because usually it doesn't matter, you only have to change the poles on the coil. But in this case it does matter, because I would like to use this backplate for a push-pull system. So I'm gonna run into the room where I already have one of these playing, because if I want to use this as a backplate to make it push-pull, the first magnet has to be in the right order. So I'm gonna take a look how it is on the other one, because can't change it otherwise. So the first one is supposed to have no stripe on it. It's always tricky to do this, because I'm putting it in this jig, but you have to take into account that it's gonna be the other way around. Doesn't sound that hard, but apparently it is. Then we need a knife or a pair of scissors, which I don't have nearby, so I just need to use a Stanley knife. And I hopefully don't cut too much in my kitchen. Okay, so now this one is not long enough. It's too bad. So this is the one that doesn't have a stripe on it. So now we know the next one will be one with a stripe on it. There you have it. So it wants to, you can check like this. If it doesn't want to be on top of each other, then you're good to go. Because it means it will attract sideways, which is what you want in this case. It means that either this is north facing top and this is south facing top, or the other way around, because I don't know which one is which, but it doesn't really matter. So we now twist it again, etc., etc. You can actually see here, 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 and there are these little notches that kind of scrape away a little bit of the magnet, but it keeps it in place because these, you can hear it as well, because these slots are a little bit wider than the magnet itself. But if I made them exactly the same width as the magnet, when you glue it, it's gonna be pretty hard to get this piece of plastic from the magnets without tearing off all the magnets. So that's the reason why I made it like this. That's still the first try. So, but so far, I only used it once, but so far it kind of works, which is cool. This also allows for me not cutting the magnet exactly in two. So one is 3.54 millimeters and the other one is 3.57 or something, or 8, I don't know. So not exactly the same. So if I would make it a perfect fit, one magnet will be fitting perfectly and the other one doesn't fit or is loose. Either way. You can see it doesn't want to stick to the first magnet, but to the second. So we're still in the right order. Really wonder how they do this at the Magnapen. Because they have quite a lot of magnets to put on one plate. Don't think they do it like this. Well, I hope not. Again, not enough. What a waste of magnet. Well, I'll save these because you never know. Might be useful for something. Oh, okay. No, I thought I had another small piece that I could use. But check it. Yeah, still correct. Sorry, I take you through this whole boring progress, but it's just the way it is. Just skip it. We're done, but yeah, well, I would skip it. It's not the coolest thing to do or to watch, but I'm not gonna stop it either because I don't like editing. Well, it could be fun, but must be more interesting than this. I'm not gonna edit this. Just doing this for shits and giggles. Last one. Okay, so we fill it up. Put the magnet somewhere. Okay, so we now have like a completely filled piece, and it's all pretty flat. But most important, the spacing in between all these magnets is exactly 2 millimeters. Which is a little bit too much maybe, but who cares? We'll change it in the next version. But this is a way to glue it in a nice straight line, because before I tried like gluing one magnet and then add a spacer of 2 millimeters, for instance, and then glue the next magnet against this spacer, but it's not gonna look good. So we got these, and then we got the frame, and this is a CNC super cheapy MDF frame, and well, it's nice for testing, which I am still. So gonna glue the metal on this so it gets some rigidity. It gets rigid, and then we glue in the magnets because they will fit in just like this. So you can't go wrong. Magnets will be always on the same spot on the metal, or at least within these where the membrane is gonna be. So it's easy to make a push-pull without making mistakes. So I'm really glad I made this. Well, let's glue everything up. It has to dry before you can put it together, so it's like a contact adhesive. So let's go. Jesus, this is long.